Hello, and thank you for joining me. Today we have the Orbital Knives FORNAX, and I gotta say, I really love this knife. I think it's a great collaboration with Munko Knives. Munko Knives definitely has a unique design to his knives, and this one definitely stands out. But quickly want to give a shout out to Eddie for sending this my way to check out and share with you guys. So before we get into it, quickly want to mention that Orbital Knives is doing a 10% discount on their website right now. It's Orbit 10. So if you guys put in Orbit 10, you can get 10% off at checkout. So just quickly wanted to mention that, an awesome thing that they're doing. And they also have a great budget knife. This is the Callisto. I just customized one of these. Here's the custom one. If you haven't seen the video, I'll leave a link up in the corner, but this is a great budget knife. This is their premium model, but this is one I highly recommend. Awesome knife. Had to pick up another one. But getting back to the FORNAX, like I said earlier, I really love this design. Very slim and sleek. But let's see what you get with this knife. You get a S45VN steel blade with a beautiful stonewash. I'm a sucker for a stonewash, so this is definitely talking to me. We have a beautiful swedge here at the top to give that blade some character. It is a flat ground blade, but it is very slicey. And I'd say that's due to the fact that the blade stock is very thin. I think it's just, I want to say, a hair under 1/8. So again, very slim. They do give you a jimped area here on the back of the blade, on this thumb groove, so your thumb really locks in. You do get titanium thumb studs for deployment. This is a titanium constructed handle, which is beautifully stonewashed to match that blade. It is a frame lock, and you do get a steel insert, even though it doesn't look like it, but they tucked it under with hidden hardware. So definitely keeping the frame lock very clean. You get a milled titanium pocket clip, which is very well done. It's a little on the shorter side, but it's not even a problem because this thing works great in pocket. You do get these little inserts on both sides with some slots or gills, and then you get a really unique backspacer here with access to a lanyard hole, which doesn't affect the clean look of the knife because it's not just a hole that goes through the scales. So I do like that little touch they provided. And you also get titanium pivot collars. I like that they did gold accents to these certain little touches. I think it definitely stands out and makes it look really classy. They put T8 hardware all the way around this knife, except for the thumb stud, but that's not really an issue. Thumb studs are pretty easy to remove with the T6. Since they're so deep, you can really torque down on that thing. The hidden hardware for the pocket clip is a T8. Even the hardware underneath that holds these inlays in is T8. So again, a really nice touch. But that's really good to know because if I end up customizing this thing, I can definitely create some inserts. But I'm already getting ideas of what I could possibly do to this thing. There's so many options, obviously anodizing, but even a show side scale would be pretty cool. Now the action on this thing is one of the main things I love about this knife. It really fires out, and the drop shot action is really good, but reverse flick works really good, and the access to the frame lock is very well done too, since they remove some material here on the show side scale, so you can gain easier access to that frame lock. And they also give you a beveled section to have a comfortable feel on that frame lock. So very well done. I don't know if I mentioned, but it is riding on bearings. And when I got this knife, when it was brand new, it was a little on the stiff side, but it broke in very well. Glassy smooth. And the acoustics on this thing are really good. And I'm going to see if I can get it for you guys on camera. It's almost like a metallic-y clink, but in a good way. It's not a terrible thing. It's just, It's just really unique. So acoustics are really great. Action's amazing on this thing. It gets smoother and smoother the more I just fidget with this knife and use it daily. So they definitely nailed it on the action. D10's perfect, so it fires right out every single time. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm not left-handed, but I can use this thing left-handed, no problem. So you don't have that issue of, at least for me, I guess because I've spent time with it, but putting pressure with your thumb on that frame lock does affect it, but I just kind of keep it higher up and it fires right out. So even though that pocket clip isn't reversible, still works great in the left hand. Now getting to the ergos, this thing is, I'd say it's excellent in the ergos department since everything really locks in. And I know this knife is definitely a slim profile, but for some reason it just works. Like everything locks in, super comfortable. My thumb lands in this thumb ramp, and that jimping basically just locks you in, which I think is very comfortable. Even your fingers, when they go on the bottom section, just really locks in. And even choking up, since they gave you quite a bit of room here on the front finger choil, if that's what you want to call it. But you can, again, this is a feature I really like on knives, so I really like that I can get really close up to that cutting edge for those controlled cuts. But choking up feels really good too. Even the reverse grip is very comfortable. So I really love the ergos. No hot spots, and everything is just very well done when it comes to the bevels. Can't really point anything out when it comes to the ergos. Maybe if your hands are smaller or larger, maybe there's certain hot spots, but in my hand it feels amazing. I think it feels really good. I also really like how lightweight this knife is, especially for its size. And we're going to find out exactly how much this thing weighs. Let's see, I'm going to guess 4.5 ounces. Oh, wow, okay, so definitely lighter than that, so 3.17. Man, I was way off on that. But I think the reason why it's so light, not only the slim profile, but it is heavily milled on the inside. And those slots that they milled out are really deep. So again, they removed quite a bit of material, making this thing very light and nimble. And that's another feature that I really like, is just how nimble and balanced it is in hand. It feels really good. Another thing that I really like about this knife is the attention to detail. I love where they placed these finger grooves and these bevels, and I think that plays a huge part in the ergos department. But you can see just the little touches they did all the way around. Even where the frame lock is, or the frame lock slot on the frame lock side, you can see that micro bevel. There it is. It's a nice touch, and it lets me know that they really took their time on this design. So love those little touches. Even the micro bevel for these inserts is executed very well. And even here on the back spacer, you can see the bevels. It's something I didn't really notice until I really looked at this knife. But those little bevels to add a little bit of character to the back spacer, those are the kind of things I really like when it comes to knife design. It's always the little things that really let me appreciate a knife design. And then you even have that slot on the underside of the back spacer for that blade to not hit, but it also lets you know how centered this blade is. I'd say it's perfectly centered. Maybe a hair to the pocket clip, but I'd say that's pretty darn centered. Now, before I forget, I want to mention that the knife comes with extra hardware, and I don't know if I mentioned it before, but this is steel. This is steel hardware, as you can see. My little magnetic pin here, but that's the only thing that's not titanium. Obviously, the blade is steel, but everything else is titanium. But that's awesome that they provide extra hardware. That's always a plus in my book when it comes to knife companies. You do get a cool cleaning cloth, and you also get a nice leather pouch that this thing comes in. So very well executed. This is a knife that I would definitely recommend. It's a knife that really surprised me and just super comfortable, great action. I would say this is a gentleman's carry just because of the gold accents. Definitely makes it classy. If you guys are interested in this knife, I'll leave a link down below to Orbital Knives website. Again, don't forget to use Orbit 10 at checkout for 10% off on the website. And as always, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate the support. And I will see you guys on the next one.